Agentic Retail Operations by Shopvisor. Here is a sample of what you can do using Agentic Retail Operations that's built on global standards. It'll transform retail from reactive systems to governed autonomous execution. It's built on standards retail interoperability foundations. It's powered by ART's standards retail leadership and enterprise credibility. It's a standard evolution of ART's principles, and it's much, much more. So here's our agenda. It starts with what is Agentic AI? That's a high-level overview. And how does Agentic AI tie to retail operations? And then how do you do application integration using these agentic standards? And we're going to cover Agentic Cash Management, Agentic Customer Relationship Management, Agentic Price Management, Agentic Inventory Management, Agentic Supply Chain Management, and lastly, Agentic Security. There's a fundamental structural problem in retail because most enterprise retail systems are built in silos, and it's simply the way that retail grew. You started off by adding all kinds of stores. Then you had to have a common database between all of the stores in order to understand how profitable you are. You had to have a common store inventory so that items in one store can be found in another store. You have to have a common warehouse. And finally, the omni-channel world came along with a website, and everybody thought it was something different. Now, the beauty is ART solves this problem. So let's start with a high-level overview of what is Agentic AI. So Agentic AI is essentially the convergence of autonomy, it's acting without step-by-step instruction, reasoning, planning, evaluating, adapting, tool use, interacting with systems and data, persistence, long-running workflows, basically closed-loop systems, and governance, ensuring safe, bounded operations. So how does Agentic AI tie to retail operations? So what are the ART components that make all of this work? Well, ART started as the data model, and today that data model covers almost 90% of what's happening in retail. It went to the messaging so that you could connect all of your applications together. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but that is one of the messiest problems that exist, connecting all of the various applications and then upgrading them. Then you've got your unified POS devices, connecting all of your devices together in the store. Finally, you get to summarize it all up into a data warehouse world. And then, of course, you need to buy this stuff. So you need a set of RFP templates to help you quickly get your purchase information out on the street so you can quickly buy things. So why do ART standards make agentic retail operations possible? Well, the key is interoperability plus semantic consistency. Agentic AI needs clean, structured data provided by ART, standardized device interfaces provided by ART, transaction schemas that support reasoning, and a shared ontology across all systems. ART provides all four. This means that agentic systems don't need custom integrations. They can plug into the retail enterprise and begin reasoning immediately. Now, the non-obvious insights, Agentic AI doesn't replace ART, it amplifies ART. Your standards become the operating system for autonomous retail. ODM becomes the knowledge graph, unified POS, the actuator lever, POS log, and the messaging, the transactional truth layer. Agentic AI is simply the intelligence that runs on top of ART. So let's look a little deeper in some of those areas, like cash management. So what agentic cash management actually means? Look, agentic cash management is a shift from static, schedule-based cash processes to autonomous, real-time, self-optimizing cash operations across stores, lanes, safes, and back office systems. You can sense cash levels, patterns, and risks. You can predict shortages, overages, and reconciliation issues. You can act by triggering workflows, alerts, or device commands for managing your cache. And you can learn from your outcome and redefined policies. Let's look at agentic customer relationship management. One of the most important things a store has to have is customers. And how does agentic AI improve those customer interactions? Well, it provides real-time context-aware personalization. Knowing when Sam comes into your store is important. It helps conversational and autonomous shopping assistant, helping him find the products in the store. Personalized promotions and offers. Hey, Sam, you get that 10% if you buy this stuff today. Omni-channel continuity. Sam, you bought that online. Do you want to pick it up in the store? And proactive autonomous engagement helps free up your employees to do other critical things in your store. Agentic inventory management. Wow. So what are some of the areas that agentic AI helps in inventory management? Real-time demand sensing. That's important. You always want to make sure you have the products on the shelf when the customer is in there to buy them. And if you don't have enough and the demand goes up, the customers will walk out. So that deals with automatic replenishment. It handles exception handling and root cause detection. If you got the products in the wrong place in the store, forecasting and scenario planning. Christmas is coming up. Of course, it's 6 months away. What are we going to need to sell and what are we going to sell during the Christmas time? And omni-channel inventory optimization. Omni-channel has been one of the most dynamic changes in retail because it allowed the customer to buy online and pick up in the store. So you've got to make sure it's there when they get there. So let's look at agentic price management. So what does agentic AI actually automate in smart pricing? Well, real-time price monitoring is one of the biggest ones. For years, there was real problems with just the shelf labels and the point of sale price for the same item. Keeping those in sync is critical. And now you've got omni-channel, so buying it online adds another level to this. So you want to be able to do autonomous price adjustments. Promotion optimization. You want to tie the prices to, hey, Sam, you want to buy something? We'll give you a 10% discount if you buy this thing. Exception detection and correction. And finally, scenario testing and forecasting. Trying to evaluate, is this the right price for this item is a huge challenge. So now let's look at agentic supply chain. This is becoming really critical. And we saw this starting with COVID and the real problems with getting the supplies off of the ships and into the stores. So what does agentic AI actually do in the supply chain? Well, autonomous context-aware decision making, being able to move a truck from store A to store B before it gets there, into invisibility and connected functions, real-time monitoring and rapid response, tying again the stores to what's coming off the ships, and autonomous execution of routine tasks. So now let's look at agentic security in retail. This is getting more and more important over time. So now let's take it how agentic AI transforms retail security. Real-time loss prevention. That's beyond passive alerts. Did Fred walk out of the store without paying for a certain item? Organized retail crime patterns. It's not unusual for organized retail crime units to start, say, in the Northwest and work their way down the coast, going from store to store, stealing whatever they can as a group. Fraud and POS anomaly management, making sure that in the self-checkout world that all of the items that are the customer has in their basket have been scanned in the POS. inventory intelligence and physical security fusion, making sure that somebody didn't take something off the shelf and put it into their purse. Workforce aware risk management. Workforce people are one of the largest groups for stealing things from the store they work at. E-commerce and omni-channel fraud. This is very cool. A lot of people say they buy things in omni-channel and they go in to pick it up and it's not there. And returns management. That's a huge one that's really growing, making sure that they actually bought the item in the store that they say they bought and they're returning. They stole it from store A and they're returning it to store B. In this agentic AI and arts world, ShopVisor has an unfair advantage as we have the art standards leadership in our core group, starting with Richard.Halter, who was the CTO at Arts. And so he helped build all of the art standards. He was an advisor to the University of Oklahoma. He's created the first online credit card system. He's created the architecture for the first omni-channel point of sale. He's led in the development of all of the arts work as listed here. He's written a book on it. He's created over 70 YouTube videos to help explain it. And he's trained major retailers and vendors all over the world. Trust me, I've flown over 1 million miles on how to solve their number one problem, integrating applications. And now we have AI to help leverage this work and help retailers implement all of this material. Thank you for listening to this final in the series on agentic retail operations brought to you by ShopVisor. If you need more information, you can reach out to any of us as a part of this team. Thank you.